Yo, what's good, boy? Ghost here, and today I bring you guys another comparison video between the STG and BAR. And today we're going to be exploring the AR meta of season 2. Because in my last video we did the SMG meta, we did Owen gun and well gun. And today I'm going to be doing what I think to be the best ARs from Vanguard in season 2. Now, granted, I haven't really used a lot of ARs so far in season 2. I'm still probably gonna try out like the Coupe Carbon. I'm probably gonna try out maybe the Volk. And potentially the AS-44, because the AS-44 is actually really good at close range, but I want to see how it like fares in long range. But also, man, in the patch notes they ended up like doing a lot of changes to both these weapons, and they both seem way better now. Like, I think overall the changes weren't like too significant, like they didn't get buffed crazily, but they both feel pretty good now, especially the BAR. The BAR feels a lot better. It feels like it gets better every update, which is kind of concerning, because eventually I feel like at some point this gun is going to be completely broken, and then people are just going to be like, huh, this gun needs to get nerfed. But I mean, hell, we still have the Brand, which still hasn't gotten nerfed properly yet. But anyways, man, before we do get into the comparison, I want to say if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button when it's 2000, and yeah, man, let's just get into it. And here we have the recoil pattern for the STG, and from what I remember from the patch notes, I gotta be honest, bro, like, having to look through those patch notes every time I do this is kind of annoying, so I kind of just gonna have to stop. So I'm just gonna have to just go off memory now. I apologize. If you guys want to see the patch notes, you know, I'm just link them in the description or something. But from what I remember in the patch notes, none of these weapons actually ended up receiving a base update / nerf. I think more so it was just changes to their attachments and attachments in general, which is like, you know, the bullet velocity on the barrels, the MX silencer getting changed and stuff like that. But I mean, whatever they did, bro, both of these guns feel different, and they feel different in a good way. Like, the STG, bro, felt so much better. Like, it just feels so good right now. And the BAR as well, like I mentioned, the BAR just feels like every update that they do on it, it makes the gun better. And bro, all it needs is a few tweaks, and that gun will be really godly. And right now, I would say it's pretty good. I think maybe if they also to change one thing, honestly, I wouldn't change anything. I think the gun right now in its current state is good. I think it's a really good gun, and it doesn't really need much. Because if they do too much, then yeah, like, that gun will be ridiculous. And so hopefully they kind of leave it at this. I hope they don't nerf it. I don't think it's broken from what I've been using it. It's STG, man. I think STG's in a perfect place as well. I think both of them, they did a solid job in putting them in the right place. Now, I want to quickly highlight this specific clip right here, because I ended up picking up this gun off somebody's body, right? But this STG specifically, bro, I've never had an STG that moved. Like, I know it was mounted, but I did use that gun when like without being mounted, and it just what's it called? It motivated me to change my STG class setup, because that sight and whatever else the composition of that gun was, bro, the recoil was non-existent. It's kind of like the new guns. The new guns have no recoil. That's how that STG was, and I would definitely recommend it, because STG without any recoil, bro, it's unfair. And you know, I could see potentially that scope getting changed. I don't think the STG itself needs to get changed, but more so that sight. I think that sight is pretty busted. I haven't tried. I mean, I should have tried it on the BAR to see like if it's truly the same, but I didn't do it for whatever reason. I might actually do that later today, because that can actually be interesting. Because if I eliminate recoil on the BAR, this gun would be undoubtedly probably the best gun in the game. Because this gun with zero recoil, man, it's not fair. It's really not fair. But the STG without recoil is also not fair. So I don't know, man. It's kind of it's a little bit tricky to say, but I'm gonna have to credit it to that side. That side is dumb. But anyways, man, that being said, let's just get into the BAR and stats. And here we have the recoil pattern for the BAR, and as you can see, bro, it's literally like a straight line. Now, the only bad thing about this gun and why it seems like it has kind of a little bit of recoil is because the animation, or the, like, I don't know how to explain, like the sight, like when you shoot, man, it kicks up, but it's not recoil. It's just like this weird little animation to put in, which is good because it balances the gun out. Because if that wasn't there, and again, I kind of should try out that sight and see if that disappears. Because if that disappears, bro, this gun would literally be untouchable in terms of like just meta and all that. Because bro, the damage already is pretty ridiculous. And if you guys are not aware, it actually has more damage than the Brent, or it's actually close to damage. I remember specifically that the NZ41 is the one gun that actually has more damage than the Brent. I think the bar is more so like really close. If not, it surpasses it by like a little bit, or if it doesn't surpass it, it's like below it by like a couple damage values. So if this gun was to have 0 recoil, like, bro, this gun would be pretty crazy. The one thing that holds it back would be the fire rate, but you could always put recoil booster and all that. I wouldn't recommend using the max for fire rate. I picked up a bar that had that, and it was just, it's not the same, bro. It was not hitting the same. Recoil booster could be something to look at. I maybe would recommend it. I don't personally use it. I don't think I need it. And for most of the time when I see people use a bar, I don't really see people use a recoil booster. But anyways, man, speaking of fire rate, for the first ever, we're going to talk about the fire rate. And for the bar, no surprise, it's a 400 RPM. Pretty slow for an AR, but it helps balance out the weapon considering how much damage it does, and how it has no recoil. And then for the STG, we have a 600 RPM. I mean, again, you can always up these by using attachments for fire rate, but I personally, from I remember, don't use this. Actually, no, that's a lie. My STG, I use the fire rate, what's it called? Mag now. I remember changing it now. But I used to not use fire rate attachments on the STG, but now I do use one. But I recommend the class 7 that I use. It's pretty solid. But anyways, moving over to the damage. This is what gets one-sided for the bar. But the STG is still pretty solid in damage. For 0 to 31 meters for STG, we have 45 damage to the head and neck, 33 to the chest, 30 to the stomach, and 32 to the extremities. Pretty solid damages. But then you have the bar, which for 0 to 36 meters, you have 60 damage to the head, 44 to the neck, chest, stomach, and extremities. Like, oh no, 44 to the upper leg and arm, and then 40 to the lower leg and arm. Man, that throws me off so, like, just bad now. But as you guys hear, man, the damages there are not really comparable. But to be honest, this comparison is not really to pick one over the other, because I don't know. I feel like the bar in most cases is kind of the better gun. But this is just more so to highlight the 2 weapons that I think are the meta for this specific season in terms of AR. Because, you know, some people could still say that the Brent is still like the top tier gun. I haven't used the Brent. I've only picked it up and have seen like how good it is. Like, yeah, I still understand how good it is, but I don't know, man. I feel like we should just leave it in the past if it's possible. Because, like, I think the MP40 now, like, more than ever right now, I think more people are starting to like go away from it. I'm hoping that the Brent, like, that happens for it as well. But, you know, I don't know how the Brent situation is. It could be still as good as it was when it was like initially meta. Where the MP40 has definitely taken kind of a hit, and other SMGs have been able to prosper, allowing for the MP40 to just get, put away. So hopefully the Brent, hopefully this video, if you're a Brent user, convinces you to change your gun. It might be a little hard, but I think these 2 weapons are solid candidates to take the Brent's position. But anyways, man, moving over to the longer ranges. For 31 meters and above for the SCG, we have 39 damage to the head and neck, 28 to the chest, 26 to the stomach, and 26 to the extremities. And then for 36 meters and above for the bar, we have 46 damage to the head, 34 to the neck, 34 to the chest, stomach, 34 to the upper leg and arm, and 31 to the lower leg and arm. Now, actually, the STG has more damage at neck, which is actually kind of crazy. It has a little bit more damage at neck from these ranges, which is at least something. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? It's something. It's not completely a lost cause for damage to the STG. But again, just because the STG doesn't have more damage or close to damage to the bar doesn't mean it's bad. Like, the damage is still solid. Like, it's still good for AR. It's still really good in game. Like, you still melt. It's not like it's gonna shoot marshmallows. But the bar is just one of those guns that it's one of the on the higher tiers of just damage. Like this, the NZ41, the Brent, like those guns are just essentially incomparable to a lot of these guns in terms of damage. But damage is not the whole thing. Like I said, the STG has a 200 RPM advantage in fire rate, and fire rate really matters. And actually, most guns have a fire rate advantage over the bar. So although the bar does do more damage than essentially almost every gun in Vanguard, like, or AR and /LMG possibly, the fire rate is always going to be that one thing that the bar can't quite, surpass. And it's the one thing that truly is the reason why it's not 100% the meta. Because, bro, if this gun had like a 500 to like 550 or 600 RPM, like a Brent, man, we would have we'd be in a bar meta, like a straight up bar meta. And right now, I would say the bar is more so like a not a low key choice, but it's definitely people are aware about it. It's just I don't know, people just seem like the brand, the Cooper, or the STG as better alternatives, which I kind of find weird because I think the bars should be a meta candidate, but you know, we'll have to see how the season unfolds. I know the STG is getting a lot of love, so we'll see if the bar follows suit as well. But you know, I know I didn't say, I said that we were supposed to pick one over the other, but if I had to pick, if you guys were gonna make me pick, I'm gonna say STG. I just rock with the STG. I have a lot of fun with them. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and talk to you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.